Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Valerie and this is the Yoga Breakdown series. So definitely thank you for coming back again to break down another pose with me today. Last week we covered Warrior 2. This week we'll cover Warrior 1. So Warrior 1 has become kind of a controversial pose as we've gotten along in yoga, which sometimes seems funny to me that things become controversial, but okay. But anyway, so this pose, one of the reasons why it's come into question is because of the way we come into it for the most part. So recently we've been coming into it from a down dog, so lifting the leg, stepping through, coming up and stepping up into Warrior 1. So the controversy becomes and as we look closer at what this looks like, it'll make a lot more sense. But the relation to the hip, to the knee to the ankle, and if we're borrowing from any areas in the body, which is called a compensation, in order to make the pose fit our body, and does that cause injury either immediate or over time? So this is kind of the concept around this. And in some schools, they're eliminating it. Other schools, they're keeping it in. So depending on what school of yoga you're following and what region you're in, it could be really different how this pose is approached. My approach is a little bit different, and my training had variations on this approach. What I like to offer for my class is stepping back from the top of the mat so we don't take it from downward facing dog. I find that's a lot gentler on the body, easier to set up, and just allows the body to sink into the pose a little bit more. So let's dive in and take a look at it. This is Warrior 1. In my Warrior 1, I'm taking this from the top of the mat. So standing at the top of the mat, feet are at hip distance, hands are on hips. So this is a side view. And this would look like what it would look like from the front. Hip distance, straight down, hands on hips. And from here, we simply step back 1 foot. So I always start on the right, so step back right foot. Really great. Let's try this again. So check out my hips as I step back. Hips stay square. So one of the reasons why I like to have my hands on my hips and instruct my students to have their hands on their hips is so that they know where their hips are in space. So hip squares look like this. Square hips look like this. And hips that aren't square look more like this, opening up, okay? Take a nice inhale, exhale, hip square, step right foot back. Really great. So that's how we start to get into the pose. I'll show you from the other side. Our side view here, feet at hips, nice long inhale, exhale, hip square, step right foot back. Really nice. So from here you can see there's a slight bit of external rotation. So my toes are coming out just a little bit. Really great, but not a lot. And this may mean, depending on if you've come from other poses in order to get here, that your stride may not be as wide as you're used to, and that's okay. We'll step back, I'll show you one more time. Inhaling here, hip square, exhale, right foot back. Nice, get yourself set up, and then bending into the front knee. Really great. So from here, you're not bending, over bending or anything. Bending where it's comfortable, pressing into the points of the feet we talked about last week. And then allowing your arms to come up high. So reaching the arms up from here. You can't see my arms in this shot, but guaranteed they're up high. I'll show you this from the front. Hip square. Step right foot back. Bend into the knee. Inhale, arms come high. Once again, maybe trying along with me this time. Hip square, hands on hips, inhale. Keeping hips square, stepping right foot back. Bend into knee, inhale, arms high. So now you can see my side alignment here. I'm not reaching up so high with my arms that I pop up my chest like this. I'm keeping them in line with my shoulders and where my shoulders land. And we'll use another video to talk about shoulder health, but inhale the arms here to where they stop without strain. And then taking some nice deep breaths here. Maybe the gaze can come high if that's okay with the neck. And then from here, showing you some other variations, humbling the warrior, and really getting into anything that you want that has to do with keeping hips square. So now this pose becomes really, really vibrant. And this pose becomes a pose you can use in a number of different settings, similar to Warrior 2. So that's one of the beauty. That's what I really love about stepping back from the front of the mat, is then our hips are square and we can do a bunch of other things. We can drop hands down, we can lift the leg into standing splits, we can bounce back into crescent. We've got a lot of stuff we can do, a lot of stuff we can move around, which is really exciting. So anyway, that is your Warrior 1. Maybe try it out, see if you like it like that. Maybe next time you're practicing, check it out, see what it feels like in your body. And guaranteed at first, the stride will be a little less than you're used to. Allow that to occur, and then slowly but surely, as long as you continue this way in your practice, your stride will get longer and longer as your hips get used to going into your pose this way. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so that you get notifications of the next yoga breakdown. Next week, we'll be talking about Warrior 3, which is one of my all-time favorites, and I cannot wait to see you then. Thank you so much. Namaste.